Just mature. Got to be more mature in those moments. I always believe in this team. I will always believe in this team. The guys that we have in this locker room is talents through the roof, and just experience is needed. And we'll continue to get better together.
Imagine you're blessed with talent that makes you super extraordinary on the basketball court. So much so, it allows you to take you and your family out of the infested streets of Seattle, Washington, into living a lavish lifestyle. This is a story of someone who, despite worked so hard just to fulfill his dream, but he couldn't control his emotions. Kevin Porter Jr. was born on May 4th, 2000 in South Seattle, Washington. Now, to put into perspective how life was growing up for him, it was easily described as you could easily be walking up the wrong streets and anything could happen to you out of nowhere. This could happen to anybody, gang affiliated or not. Different events would even have to be postponed from time to time, all due to violence. Just imagine having to watch your own back as an elementary school kid walking down the street. Well, that was some of the same reality that KPJ was faced with. Now, his father, Kevin Porter Sr., was a stellar three-sport athlete in high school as he played baseball, football, and basketball. But his life did go on to take a dark turn because in 1993, when he was just the age of 19 years old, he was sentenced to 4.5 years of prison as he was charged with intentional manslaughter. And once he got released, he made a pretty special effort to change his life around. And once KPJ was born, the very first one to place a ball in his hands was his father. And as he taught him the mechanics, Porter Jr. never looked back. But little did he know that tragedy would soon strike, because at a bar in 2004, a fight would actually break out, which led Kevin Porter Sr. stepping in to stop the fight from escalating. But unfortunately, as he tried to break it up, he would be shot multiple times. Now, later that night, Porter Jr.'s mom would proceed to tell his older sisters that their dad would not be coming home that night. And since his sisters were a little bit older than him, they kinda knew what really was going on. And on July 17th, 2004, Kevin Porter Sr. would then pass away. Now, KPJ really didn't know what was really going on, which led his mother to make the decision for him to not go to the funeral, as she wanted him to remember his dad the way he remembered his dad. And although it was extremely rough on the family, as a collective unit, they knew that they had to elevate from that situation, as his mother was forced to take that fatherly role. But as time went by, Kevin's love and drive for the game of basketball would grow significantly, because he went on to attend Rainier Beach High School as a freshman, the same school that his father attended, but he also would team up with senior guard DeJounte Murray. And as the season progressed, he would start to turn heads, as he was a crafty, silky smooth lefty that could score at all three levels. And because of that, more and more people would start to pay attention, as it was way too easy for him. And it was clear that he was going to be one of them ones for real, especially since he could take over the game at any moment. And by the time his senior season came around, he was standing at 6'4" with a 6'9" wingspan. That season, he put up 27 points a contest to go along with 14 rebounds and dished out 5 assists. He ended his senior season being Mr. Washington basketball, as well as a 5-star recruit, and just barely missing becoming a McDonald's All-American. Now, he had racked up a plethora of offers from programs like USC, Oregon, and UCLA. But that would lead the 5-star recruit to sign a letter of intent to play college basketball at the University of Southern California. And for his freshman campaign, it started off pretty solid, as he put up 14 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists for 5 consecutive games. But things would only go south, as he missed some time due to a quad injury. And then later that season, the Trojans would suspend KPJ indefinitely for closed disconduct reasons. And it was rumors that he could be kicked off the team. But as he returned, he was able to average 10 points throughout the remainder of the season. And with this boatload of talent, it was no way possible he would go outside of the first round. And as he entered the 2019 NBA draft, he would be selected 30th overall by the Cleveland Cavaliers. As a rookie, he showed a lot of promise, putting up averages of 10 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. He even went off for a 30-piece versus the Heat. But during that next season, on November 15, 2020, he would get arrested. and charged with improper handle of a firearm in a motor vehicle after he flipped his Mercedes SUV off the interstate in southeast Cleveland. Police would find a loaded .45 caliber handgun and a small amount of marijuana also in the vehicle. But fortunately for him, his felony gun charge would get declined, and his misdemeanor charges on driving without a license were dismissed. Now, following that situation, one night when KPJ and his older sister were out and a woman and his sister would exchange words, that led KPJ to allegedly punch the woman, but the woman did not press charges. And the Cavs organization still gave him the benefit of the doubt and allowed him to take time off in the beginning of the season for personal use. Now on January 18, 2021, after a trade that brought Taurean Prince to the Cavs would go on to move KPJ's locker without his permission, which did result in Porter raging and get into a verbal altercation with the GM and the head coach as he felt that he was being disrespected and backdoored. But at that point in time, the Cavs organization had had enough. So following James Harden's arrival in Brooklyn, the Rockets found a lot of interest in Porter, and shortly after, the Houston Rockets chose to acquire KPJ, and he would go directly into the Houston Rockets G League team. And after 15 games in, he led the whole entire G League in scoring with 29 points, 7 assists, and 7 rebounds. And it was clear as day he did not belong there. And just like that, he was brought up into the main squad, playing alongside John Wall. Now on April 29, 2021, he became the youngest player ever to score 50 points and 10 or more assists in a game. And it didn't matter that he was being guarded by one of the best perimeter defenders at the time in Jrue Holiday, because it was clear that he was having his way.
Holiday's just taking this game over.
Really has, hasn't he? And Porter's done a pretty good job too. And Middleton also there, and here's Porter to the basket.
Podcast. I was watching a little bit of that today, talking about his former playing years.
Coming into his third year, he put up 16 points, 6 assists, and 4 rebounds. Now in January of 2022, just when it seemed as though he was seeming like he was staying out of trouble, he went on to leave the arena at halftime because a coach called him and a teammate out about their performance. But fast forward to the past season, he was able to average a career high of 19 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists while shooting 44% from the field and 36% from 3, while his team finished second to last in the West. But after the additions of Fred VanVleet and Amen Thompson to possibly fulfill that point guard position, it was already looking like KPJ could possibly be the odd man out. Now on September 11th at around 6:40 a.m., Kevin Porter was arrested for allegedly assaulting his girlfriend.
NBA player Kevin Porter Jr. was arrested at a Manhattan hotel for domestic assault, allegedly.
Kevin Porter Jr. has caused controversy at nearly every step of the way, and after getting chance after chance, he seemed to not learn from his mistakes. And because his NBA career is more than likely over just after 4 seasons, just hope that he can really learn from this and be a voice to the up-and-coming male professional athletes to not make the same mistakes he made.